Hello and good evening. My name's Laura Hill and I'm Project Manager of the Innovation Grant Mentoring Scheme. This evening's event will run for just under an hour. Thought I'd go through some basic housekeeping with you. Firstly, please note that this evening's event is being recorded and we'll make it available via the Norfolk County Council YouTube video next week. We'll send you a link via your registration address. Please also note that anyone registered and attending the event will be sent a copy of the slides. If you have any questions, please add them to the Q&A button on the activity bar. We'll be answering questions at the end of the event. Any questions, anytime, please put them through and we'll respond to you directly if we don't answer them this evening. The chat function will also allow you to introduce yourself to the other delegates within the event, and we'll post any links to the chat bar as we go along. That's everything from me. I'm delighted to be able to introduce you to Councillor Graham Plant, our Deputy Leader of Norfolk County Council. Graham, over to you.
Thank you very much, Kirsty. And welcome to our Innovation Grant Mentoring Scheme launch. Speaking on behalf of both Norfolk and Suffolk County Councils and the New Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership, here in Norfolk, we are delighted that so many SME business owners are keen to hear how we are going to support you to win more grant funding. Millions of pounds of grant money are available for innovation projects across all industry sectors, from fast-moving consumer goods to farming, energy to exercise, and services to retail. However, companies in Norfolk and Suffolk are missing out. National statistics indicate that Norfolk and Suffolk businesses apply less often for innovation grants than businesses in other parts of the East of England. As an example, businesses in the East of England have been awarded £638 million of Innovation UK funding in the last 15 years, but of this total, Norfolk and Suffolk businesses have received just £45.9 million, which equates to a mere 7.2%. Here in Norfolk and Suffolk, we already run several great schemes to help businesses evolve and grow, and those delivery partners are working with us to ensure this project adds value to expertise already available to our business communities. The desire to support local businesses to access more funding money inspires us. For this new Innovation Grant Mentoring Scheme, we have joined forces with a number of other partners, including the Local Enterprise Partnership, Regional Innovation Funding Specialists, the Enterprise Europe Network, the Knowledge Transfer Network UK and the ORE Catapult, with local business advisor experts, Growth Hub and Mentor, and innovation promoters Hethel Innovation and the Cambridge Norwich Tech Corridor, along with our regional universities, University of East Anglia and the University of Suffolk. Together, we have devised a hands-on, practical plan to help businesses in our areas write stronger bid applications so that when you win, we bring more innovation funding into our local economy. We know that there are hundreds of businesses who have great, innovative ideas, but sometimes applying for funding seems challenging, overly ambitious, or will require huge and unavailable resources, and therefore innovation appears too risky for a small business. We have ambitious aims for this project and for you, our essential regional business owners and managers. This programme with its partners will support you to develop your innovative ideas into something for which funding is really an option. If your plans for innovation are considered bid ready, the programme will coach you through the application process with bid writing workshops and one-to-one mentoring. Together, we aim to lever an additional £3 million of funding into our neighbouring counties over the next 2 years. And we also aim, via this programme, to teach you strong bid writing skills that you can use not just for this application, but for the next and the next. We want more businesses in Norfolk and Suffolk to be successful with their grant applications. We want to help your business to flourish and we want you to grow. I hand over now to my colleague, Councillor Nick Gowrie, Cabinet Member for Economic Development and Enterprise at Suffolk County Council, who will highlight just some of the great things of our two regions are already achieving together. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham, and a very warm welcome to you all from Suffolk. This project represents a fantastic opportunity for businesses of all sizes to get the help you need to win those grant and innovation funding bids, which will grow your businesses to new levels. As Graham has said, it's fair to say that here in the East, we do not currently get our fair share of innovation funding. And as such, Suffolk is very pleased to be working with our friends and colleagues in Norfolk to do something about that. I believe that innovation is at the very heart of delivering business growth, yet I know the costs and time associated can sometimes seem insurmountable for small to medium organisations. I really hope that this new free mentoring scheme will serve to empower you to better understand what innovation opportunities exist and to write better, stronger bid applications to access those funding streams. Whilst we may not be getting our fair share of innovation funding currently, it's also fair to say that we are not starting from zero when it comes to innovation in general here in the East. Let me give you some examples. Firstly, this scheme complements our existing innovation opportunities. In Suffolk and Norfolk, we have a network of innovation centres where businesses can find a space and creative energy to grow. Centres like Orbis Energy, Stowmarket Innovation Hub, and of course Adastral Park, the home of BT and 130 other innovation-inspired companies. In Norfolk, the Norwich Research Park, home to the John Innes Centre, leading the world in plant and microbial sciences. Beacon Park and Egmere Business Park. I could name many more centres in both counties. This region represents the highest concentration of knowledge-intensive industries in the country. We contribute 1.4 billion to UK PLC. So as a business, you are certainly in the right place if you're looking to begin your own success story of innovation. Secondly, we estimate a total of £30 billion of infrastructure investment is coming our way over the next 6 years from investment in our roads, rail and energy. Norfolk is anticipating a grant of 98 million for the third river crossing in Great Yarmouth, and both counties have been pushing ahead with boosting broadband connectivity, so vital for homes and businesses in today's increasingly digital world. In the East, you and your businesses are globally connected. Working together, Norfolk and Suffolk have achieved and will continue to achieve more success for our region. One recent notable success would be the Norfolk and Suffolk Innovation Network, which secured a grant of 440,000 to create a long-range wide area network for sending and receiving low power signals from digital centres across both Norfolk and Suffolk. This will create 75 new jobs, develop 40 new products and create 20 new businesses. Clearly, I must make some reference to the coronavirus pandemic, as no single other event this year has been more challenging for all of us. We must all hold on to the hope that this pandemic and the uncertainty it has created is only temporary. I know that the businesses here tonight and those across the rest of our region will be looking forward to brighter days, already planning on how to build back better in the post-COVID world to come. I want you to be in no doubt you have the full support of both county councils and other partners both sides of the border. This joint project between Norfolk and Suffolk exists to help you develop your next big idea, to identify ways to make your success a reality and help you overcome the barriers to achieve it. I urge you, starting tonight, to look forward and use this scheme to make your big innovation ideas a reality. Again, thank you for being here this evening. I'd like to pass the baton back to Laura, who will take you through the scheme and how it works. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Councillor Gowley. I will now run through a brief outline of the project. We start with a project overview. As mentioned before, We will be sending copies of the slides, so there's no need for you to make notes. Please put any questions via the question and answer facility. And if I skip through any of the slides too quickly and you want a little more detail, please ask questions there. Our vision. Our project vision is very simple because this project will be measured by how well we assist you, our local business community. Our vision is to increase the number of successful applications to innovation grant funding schemes from businesses within Norfolk and Suffolk. This project offers, the heart of our project is the delivery plan. It's the recruitment of a range of experts who have already been successful in winning innovation funding from a variety of different sources, and then gone on to successfully deliver their projects. Whether that's been to deliver new products, or to develop new markets, or to improve processes which increase efficiency or improve customer service. You'll hear tonight from a CEO who has successfully won funding, and also from one of our mentors and also one of our bid writing coaches. The shared experiences of mentoring support offered, along with in-depth training in how to analyse and craft successful applications, will not only assist you with the project you're developing now, but also allow you to learn new skills and embed those within your organisation, and you'll be able to carry those forward to assist your future development. Our mentors and coaches will support a growing cohort of companies within Norfolk and Suffolk. Okay, I'm going to go through to the next slide now. In terms of eligibility, we would be pleased to hear from any businesses based within Norfolk and Suffolk from any industry, whether you have an aspiration to start innovating, or you have already developed a plan, or we'll be pleased to hear from you. Please contact us if you've tried grant funding recently for the first time and not been successful. We and our partners have a range of ways to support you. So I thought I'd go through how you'd come into the project. This project has been developed and supported by a wide range of organisations who sit within our steering group. Not only does this project bring its own newly recruited mentors and bid writing coaches to serve the business community, but the project is being supported by a wide range of expert partners working in the innovation field already. The joy of our project is that it offers flexibility, and it can work with other projects and support offers supplied by our steering group partners. So it's a two-way journey. This means if you approach us for support and a partner organisation is better placed to help you, we can then, with your permission of course, introduce you to that partner. You may end up being supported by both ourselves and also by a partner at the same time. The project has a really flexible approach. So what does it offer? Our baseline offer is open to everyone. There'll be a regular series of mentor and bid writing workshops, and they'll be designed to introduce you to some basics of innovation development. Our mentor workshop topics will include business preparation for innovation, and our bid writing workshop topics will include top tips for completing application forms and reading and understanding those funding calls, and gather evidence on all you need to know about your innovation. We and our partners will provide funding call workshops to highlight funder requirements and help you develop the type of applications that they are seeking. Our partners are already running specialist funding call collaboration events designed to encourage companies to group together and consider collaborative submissions. When you feel you're ready to articulate your innovation, or you have identified a funding stream that suits your needs, you will be able to apply to our business panel for bespoke mentoring or bid writing support. Our steering group partners via the business panel will review and see who is best placed to support you and your business. Moving on to the next slide, I'm going to give you some examples of our participant journey. So, for example, if a business approaches us with a good idea for a concept, but perhaps it's not quite fully formulated, then the route to develop your innovation is not clear, we'd recommend you join some of our workshops. Our mentor workshops are designed to guide businesses through the concept development stage, considering risks and associated issues. You might want to join our bid writing workshops that introduce you to the types of evidence and information you'll be needing at your fingertips before you even consider the most relevant funding stream or approach. When you feel you've got a strong concept, you'd be welcome to approach the business panel to seek some bespoke advice. The business panel is made up of steering group members for the project, who between them are aware of all the innovation support packages around, and also funding streams available within our SME community. They will be in the best place to confirm with you the best way forward at this point. The business panel, in complete confidence, will review your business case and the credibility or status of your innovation pitch. The purpose of the panel is this project and is to support your innovation journey. So you'll get personal feedback on their recommendation for your next step. This could be via the project's bespoke mentoring or bid writing coaching, or you may be invited to join a partner scheme first, or potentially alongside our own to maximise your success. We have another option to go through as well. So moving on to the next slide, got another example of how you might arrive at this project. So if you're a business coming into this project who has already attempted an application for innovation funding and not been successful, don't be disheartened. The route to innovation isn't easy. In your situation, we would suggest you provide a summary of your innovation journey to our business panel. And again, we guarantee a complete confidential service. The panel will look to see what our collective resources can do to assist you within a successful innovation award. We will look to our mentors' wide-ranging expertise in different sectors and aim to place you with the most suitable mentor or coach to work with you and understand your bid, review and feedback, and work with you to strengthen your bid. Or we maybe consider if there's a more suitable funding source for you. However, if the grant feedback suggested that your application failed due to lack of technical detail or some evidence that you might gain from collaborating with a suitable academic partner, we might recommend a knowledge transfer partnership for your business. We would be able to link you up with the relevant partner to explore that option. If your bid was an Innovate UK funding stream, one of our partners is directly funded by Innovate UK to support potential applicants. Therefore, it might be appropriate to link you up with that organisation and open up conversations about their free support. And none of these options would invalidate your company from continuing to enjoy and utilise the generic workshops that we're offering within this project. And finally, what's next? We hope you understand now why your business should consider innovation grant funding, how your business might benefit from the project support, and also how to get involved. We hope we've made you feel inspired that you can do this by the end of this event, empowered that you can act now and make progress, and committed to your business and to improve the profitable growth. We would like you to take action by registering your interest on our website. Try out the workshops and, if appropriate, apply for the bespoke mentoring and bid development offer. Ultimately, we want to support Norfolk and Suffolk businesses achieve a successful innovation grant award. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next slide, I'm now going to introduce you to our mentors and local CEO speakers. Firstly, I've got Richard Johns, a project mentor for the scheme and also a CEO of Corona Content. And then Anna Maddox, a project bid coach writer for us. And then finally, Peter Brady, a local CEO of Orbital Media. Can't be here in person this evening, but we filmed a short video about his success in gaining innovation funding. Okay, passing over to you, Richard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura. Hello, I'm Richard Johns. I'm CEO of Corona Content, a company making film and television programs, and I'm delighted to be one of the mentors on the Innovation Grant Mentoring Program here this evening. I think for me, there are two main drivers for innovation that I've experienced through my career so far. The first one is change. Customers and markets change. Competitors emerge, technology changes, regulations change, export markets appear or disappear. The second one that's been a really big one for me is growth, business, and also, frankly, personal growth. I think when I first became aware of any kind of innovation funding, I didn't really know what it meant. And I was running a very small company out of a dusty old storeroom above a cinema. 2 directors and 3 employees, and we were doing just fine. At least we thought so. Big fish in a small pond, a comfortable place to be for a while until we realized we weren't growing. Actually, we were stagnating. And then one of our employees left, and that was a bit of a wake-up call. We realized we also wanted to grow, but how? So I looked around for money and advice. We made some applications. We had some failures. You know, we applied a couple of times for various funds and got no's. We felt rejected. We felt knocked back. We felt there was something possibly wrong with us or with the funds, and we got disappointed. Started to wonder if there was a kind of magic circle of companies who get the money and we weren't in it, that it was who you know. But I got some advice from outside and realized it doesn't actually work that way. Actually, the driver for these funds is your business success. Your success becomes their success. These funds work and get refilled if your business succeeds. So the key is to believe in yourself, get some good advice, and create an innovation plan that makes it hard for them to say no. So when we did then get some success from a European media fund that was targeting regional businesses aiming to step up and become national players, it was quite a surprise. We thought, whoa, we're not outsiders after all. The practice in failed applications had allowed us to imagine a bigger future, and that practice in doing the applications also paid off. And suddenly things got a bit more real. So we had to translate a spreadsheet into action. And of course, that really was the moment our game started to change. It stretched us, it made us more ambitious, and we started to work with other more ambitious people, leveling us up. So that was the moment our business moved from okay and gently stalling to exciting. Suddenly, I felt excited again about my own business. And that was really why I got into business in the first place. I wanted that feeling, and from that moment on, I can honestly say I have never looked back. We grew from a steady 6-figure turnover business into a 7-figure company, which has grown and grown and aiming now for even greater growth. For me, I would say innovation is not a nice to have. It's essential to growth. And ultimately, I believe, to survival in a changing marketplace. So I think in the end, the key thing for me was to believe in myself and just decide to go for it. I urge you to do the same. Get some good advice, believe in yourself, and go for it. So I'm going to pass you over now to Anna.
Hello, I'm Anna Maddox. I'm one of the bid writer coaches on the project. I have a background in supporting organisations, everything from SMEs to large companies and social enterprises, to get to secure innovation funding. I've been doing this for the last 15 years, and I have a specialism in working with Innovate UK. So they have a range of calls throughout the year. I think it was just yesterday, I was busy supporting 3 organisations to submit bids to that, from everything from ranging from projects from £100,000 up to £1 million. But the rub here is I'm not here to write bids for you. Drawing from my social enterprise work, I like to see it as you can give somebody a fish or you can teach them to fish. And what I'm here to do is to teach you how to fish in this instance. Working in this way, I will support you to develop a set of tools so that you're bid ready. You'll build the capacity in your organisation. You'll know where to look for other streams of funding and to assess whether it's the right vehicle for you at that time. You'll be able to fit the call into your strategy. So often I see organisations who've seen a pot of money out there and are desperate for the money, so change their business plan to meet it. And it never works. You only get the money if you can spend this and implement the project properly. So what I want to support you to build is strong bid capacity within your organisation that can help you use innovation funding to progress your strategy, not form your strategy around what funding is out there. I'm absolutely delighted to be working on the project, because this is exactly the way that I think organisations should be heading, for SMEs to build that capacity internally. That means that you won't have to carry on paying some form of external bid writer, but you'll be able to do it yourself and grow that expertise. And I think I'm now handing on to a video from Peter.
Orbital Media is a digital agency that specialises in artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality and gamification, and digital technology in healthcare research. Innovation funding is a great tool for promoting and developing technological ideas or innovations that can solve problems. We identified a problem in relation to asthma. We felt a technology that could explain how to use inhalers correctly and explain the condition to sufferers was something that we could achieve through augmented reality and gamification. And therefore we went through a process of applying for grant funding through a knowledge transfer partnership with the University of Suffolk. We went through an application process. 2 months later it had been accepted. The knowledge transfer partnership program is a 12-month program to develop that technology collaboratively with the University of Suffolk. So it was pretty straightforward. There was a little bit of work and elbow grease required to pull together the application and the information you need, but it was a very straightforward process, and we were delighted to be successful in being accepted on the program. Funding allows us access to high-level academics and specialists in their field. We were able to secure a fantastic associate who was recruited into Orbital to act as a bridge between the company and the university, and they worked with us to develop that technology alongside our own developers and our own technologists within Orbital. We were going to potentially improve healthcare outcomes and save lives by providing better healthcare information for patients. The grant funding ignited that idea into a reality and produced a technology that can commercialise internationally. Anything's possible with the support of a grant funding opportunity. You really can aim for the stars and you can do great things. These grant funding capabilities that are available can really enable you to take that leap as a business and dominate global markets. That's where we feel that Orbital is going because of the grant funding we've received. We will continue to be applying for grant funding in the future because it can transform your business. It can grow it and scale it beyond what you maybe originally even envisaged your business to be. Try, have a go, learn from it, take the knockbacks and understand where you've gone wrong, but be courageous and tenacious to go again because it can be transformative for a business.
Hope you enjoyed hearing from our mentor and bid writer, Richard and Anna, thank you, and also enjoyed watching the video by Peter Brady about his its successes through innovation funding. I'm now going to pass you over to Chris Starkey, CEO of New Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Laura. We at the Local Enterprise Partnership are delighted to be funding this project alongside our colleagues from Norfolk County Council and Suffolk County Council, a real positive three-way partnership. And hopefully you've got a sense of the purpose of the project. But to me, it's really, really simple. It's about helping you get more innovation funding for your business. As was stated earlier, Norfolk and Suffolk hasn't been getting our fair share of innovation funding from the likes of Innovate UK for a number of years. So we, as a Local Enterprise Partnership, thought, well, why is this? What's this all about? Because it's not that our businesses aren't as good at applying to Innovate UK. Actually, businesses in our patch who apply have just as much of a chance of securing funding as any other businesses. The reality is that significantly fewer businesses apply to Innovate UK. And one of the reasons for that is because innovation funding tends to feel a bit like a bit of a closed shop. All the terminology, the forms you have to fill in, the kind of maze you have to go through. And as a consequence of that, innovation funding for far too long has been concentrated in some parts of the country where success breeds success. So Cambridge, Oxford, Manchester, Bristol, all of those locations, those businesses are no better than any businesses we have in our patch, but they're better at applying for Innovate UK funding. So we want to change that. Delighted to have our experienced bid writers and indeed our mentors, because in order to crack the code, in order to make sure you can put a successful bid in, or a bid that's got a good chance of success, it's best to hearing from those who know. And writing a well thought through grant application to catch attention, all of the funding criteria, achieve whatever boxes can seem like a series of hoops to jump through. The mentoring scheme aims to teach those skills. So what are the bits you really need to focus on via a range of training options that we talked about, including bid writing workshops to one-to-one mentoring sessions. And of course, importantly, the scheme is open to all SME businesses, whether you've tried to access funding before or not, whether you've been close but not quite successful, or actually you don't really know what innovation is all about. So why should businesses get involved? Well, we know applying for funding can be complicated, a maze, not necessarily your core area of expertise, and yet another thing that you have to add to your list. Yeah, we'd like the money, but and the scheme's designed to take the frustration out of that process. So you'll get free, high quality advice and mentoring, ensuring you have access to the resources you need to be successful. Of course, digitization and the pandemic has really accelerated that. To offer a range of innovation opportunities for businesses who perhaps haven't considered innovation before. And Innovate UK, as said earlier, has a almost constant stream of funding opportunities that frankly we as a local enterprise partnership find difficult to keep up with. So hence why our mentors and bid writers are really helpful. And of course, if you write a stronger, more compelling bid, your chances of success will significantly increase. Mentioning COVID, of course, it's posed huge challenges to the global economy and people's daily lives, but this period of disruption has been a a strong driver of creativity, collaboration and innovation, and new ideas that we really want to get into the marketplace, and we want to make sure that businesses in Norfolk and Suffolk can take advantage of that. The ideas that you come up during lockdown and so on, let's unleash those ideas. And of course, innovation may not be high on the agenda of every business owner, perhaps because you haven't really thought about what innovation is and actually how accessible it is. And it's not some sort of esoteric idea that boffins in Cambridge think about. Actually, every business innovates pretty much every day. And finally, one of the opportunities about the programme is for you to connect with our universities. Peter mentioned in his piece about links with universities, and our panel is connected with our universities and our partners at the universities, and they can provide other sorts of support as well. And of course, if it's not Innovate UK funding, there are other sources of innovation funding. We as the LEP have some. There are other grant forms as well, and getting into the groove of understanding what is out there, getting presentations, getting an understanding will definitely help your business in the short term. So to conclude, really, businesses in Norfolk and Suffolk have been missing out on literally millions of pounds worth of funding that's available across the UK, and our hope and dream of this scheme is that we will seek to address that disparity and help bring millions of pounds of additional funding to support you, our local business community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, moving on to next steps. I hope we've inspired you this evening and you're interested in this project. So next steps, we've got here the link for our web pages. All attendees will be sent a copy of the slides with all the web addresses on, so that'll be with you in your inbox in the next couple of days. Details about the first workshops will also be with you in the next couple of weeks. And if you've got any further questions, please email us on the email address here, which will be on your slides as well. And if you've got any questions you'd like us to answer within this session, please feel free to put them on the Q&A page. Questions and answers.
So, Laura, can I, going through the questions that have been rolling in during the event, and I've tried briefly to answer, but I think one or two would be worth being shared. So could I start with, Glyn has asked about the workshops, asked whether they're located in a physical building or will they be virtual? Do we know how many hours they would last? Would you be able to address that? Yes,
of course. So at the moment, obviously with the situation with COVID, we'll be looking for workshops at the beginning of the new year to be run virtually. And then we'll have to address this as the year progresses and we understand more about the situation with COVID. And it would be lovely if we could do them in person, but we'll have to see what the new year brings.
Thank you. We've had a second question. One of our delegates tonight has asked at what stage in the innovation should we approach the scheme? How long will the project run? Is it going to be first come, first served?
This project's running over the next 2 years, so you've got time to contact us, but I'd urge you to register your interest if there's something which you're considering moving forward with innovation funding on. Approach us and have a conversation, and then we can see whether the time is right now. We can put you through our workshops with our mentors and bid coaches, and maybe to develop that idea further if needed, or maybe it'll be a point where we are ready for you to apply to the business panel to take your innovation to the next stage with a bespoke mentor and bid coach on offer. I hope that answers the question. Are there any other further questions, Kate?
Let me have a look. I've had one or two people have been questioning about how big a company has to be before they can join a project. One lady, Claire, hello Claire, has said, what if you're a very small business and not even at 6 figures? Are we too small to be considered for the project?
No, not at all. Register your interest on the website and we'll be in touch and we'll discuss your business and potentially your innovation in confidence in more detail with you.
We've had a question as to whether any part of the project counts as state aid, and I think the workshops will not, but the bespoke business does, and I think you might just want to mention how many hours people are entitled to, and that would be state aid. That would have to be state aid compliant. I don't know whether you're happy to take that or whether I just finished that one off, Laura.
Yeah, that's okay, Kate, you continue.
Yeah, so basically for those that don't know, state aid rules allow a business to have a certain amount of public funding. It's limited to a certain amount over 3 years. For a lot of our smaller businesses, the dream of €2 million of government support is what they're coming to the scheme to ask for. But for one or two businesses will have had support in the past and be looking to the next step. So the bespoke support, that up to 20 hours of one-to-one mentoring for your company, or the coaching, that would fall under state aid rules. But at the time you applied for that level of support, as opposed to the workshops, which are open to all, at that point we would then talk to you, clarify with you what state aid you've had in the past, if any, how much you're entitled to. We give you a letter at the start of the process when we work with you to anticipate how much support you need, and then you'll get a letter at the end which you hold on to should you then wish to seek another form of support afterwards. So in essence, it's this bespoke training. Let me just see what we've missed. Any other sorts of questions? Somebody's asked whether the workshops will be recorded so people can watch them offline.
That's a possibility. We can look into that.
Another important question was about confidentiality. There could be potentially a lot of people looking at an idea if you're listening in at the workshops and then you want to go to the business panel and work with a mentor. So how can a company know their idea won't be stolen, for example?
Do you want to pick this one up, Kate?
Certainly, confidentiality and trust is going to be absolutely essential for people joining the project. So we will have NDAs that our mentors and the businesses themselves will sign, the coaches, and our panel members obviously have been working in the innovation field supporting businesses for a number of years. So we are absolutely committed to protecting the confidentiality of every business that applies to the scheme, and we will be part of the advice we will be giving through the mentor workshops is the use of NDAs or non-disclosure agreements, and what they are. I hope that's enough for this, but do get in touch with us after the event and we can go through in more details. Another question, let's see whether I can find it, sorry, was about amount of people that the business can, the project can support, and whether the workshop numbers are limited. So I didn't know whether you wanted to address that one, Laura, because like this Teams meeting shows, we don't really have a limit on the numbers of people, but you might just want to reassure people on that matter.
Yes, of course. I mean, the one advantage of being of having to run virtual events early in the new year will be that we can everyone can stay within their own home and we can open it up to a number of people. But I would have thought as the year progresses and we hopefully are hopefully meeting face to face again, we will be limited by the size of venue. But I think we'll gauge it on interest. If we've got a lot of interest, we can look to hire a larger room for the event. So yeah, we'll just see what the new year brings. But definitely the virtual format does have its advantage in terms of being able to invite a larger number of people. And I obviously hope there'll be a lot of interest in the first initial workshops that run in the new year.
Thank you, Laura. Got a question here from Belle asking, can you have any support from the project if you're a sole trader? And of course, the workshops are open to everybody. One of the things that we want to do is to encourage everybody to consider innovation. But Laura, you might just want to say a few words, just reaffirm.
Yeah. Yes, I can. So yeah, as a sole trader, please come and talk to us. We can go through the options. Not all grants that are available are open to sole traders, but there are some innovation funding that is. So yeah, we can discuss that further and direct you down the right route.
Flynn has asked a question and asked if there's any funding for help to set up. And that's not what this project is doing, but we've got partners who will be able to assist. But if you, as I say, if you just wanted to address that one, Laura, thank you.
Do you want to take that one back, Kate? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what the question was.
Certainly. So, sorry, one of our delegates tonight has said, is there any funding to help you to set up your own business? So this particular project won't be able to support that. We would always say, well, we've got numerous partners, but the Growth Hub is the place that I would go if you were thinking of starting up a business, and because funding might be for new staff or might be to hire a venue or to buy computer equipment. So there are certainly grants to help businesses with capital projects, and I would suggest going to the Growth Hub, and my colleague Roberta has very kindly put the link into the chat while we're talking. Thank you very much. Let me just have a look and see what else, if there's anything that we've missed. I think we've probably covered most of the questions to date.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Kate.
Okay.
So if you've got any further questions, please get in touch either on the web page or on we'll send you the email addresses from this evening, and you can get in contact with us directly and we can answer your question. But now we finished right on time. Thank you very much for attending this evening. I hope we've sparked your interest in innovation. We very much look forward to hearing from you. Please get in contact. Thank you. Goodbye.